Hey guys, thanks for coming out and joining us again this morning. It's been a good morning. This morning I'm hiking with someone very special. I arrived a little bit late actually because, oddly enough, there was an alligator in the road, in the middle of the road near 526. So all traffic was backed up. I arrived a little bit late, but eventually Florida sent their team and they recovered their student, their athlete, and now the gator is back where he belongs. This morning I'm hiking with someone very special, so strap on your hiking shoes. We're gonna go right here in Hampton Park near the Citadel. So hopefully maybe we'll get a picture of the Citadel for you, but we're right next to the Citadel, and I am with someone very special, Currie McCullough. So good morning, Currie. How are you?
Good morning, Jim. Good.
Good to have you hiking with us this morning.
Thanks.
It's good to go with you. It's beautiful park. You're lucky to live so close to
Oh yeah, we're
this Hampton
very
Park.
appreciative of having this in the middle of our neighborhood.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
We also have an event venue in the neighborhood that plays music that we can hear across the water, which is pretty fun.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
on the weekends. I've heard Brown Eyed Girl about 8,000 times. But yeah, this park is really cool. It used to be a racetrack. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Washington
It makes sense
Race
the way
Course.
it's Washington Race Course.
Yeah.
And what do they race here?
Thoroughbreds.
Okay, so it's a horse racing
Yeah,
track.
long ago. I
Yeah.
wish I'd done my research, but I know that when they canceled the horse races, or when it started to wind down, they actually used it for the World's Fair.
They had a World's Fair here?
Mm-hmm. Possibly
okay.
1918. I know Teddy Roosevelt was president.
Okay. They don't have World's Fairs anymore. When did that stop?
I don't know. Well, we're lucky that they had one here because what we have here that really defines our park was created by that World's Fair.
Oh, yeah.
And the story is that a lot of these houses were built with the excess materials from the...
Oh, from the trees and cutting the trees and whatnot?
No, the actual buildings that they built that were temporary buildings.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
they were sort of like sets. They had an
so
art
they were used.
museum that was huge. I mean, it was thousands of square feet that people could come in and,
Oh, that's cool.
and view art. And
But it was all just temporary, like a, like a set in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Exactly.
So they raced horses here, and you're into horses,
Yeah.
and your daughter rides horses.
hmm
Yeah, awesome.
I've always wanted to ride here. They used
That
to
would be
keep
neat.
the police horses right on the other side of the park,
Yeah.
and the barn is still there.
Okay.
But they switched to segways a couple of years ago.
Did they really?
Which has turned out to be a disaster. Apparently segways are pretty bad at crowd control.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Who knew?
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, the really
That's
cool
good.
thing about this park too is that the Piccolo Spoleto finale is here.
Yeah, exactly. I have
And
been.
that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's something special that we have. That I don't know when that started, but it's bringing a lot of tourism and a lot of art, which is great.
It started in the 70s.
Did it? Okay. And
We have a sister city with Spoleto, Italy.
yep,
John Carlo Menotti started it.
I have been there.
Have you?
I have. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's it
Spoleto.
like? Did you go there because of the fact that it's Charleston's sister city?
No, before I even knew Charleston was I knew Charleston, but before I ever lived here, I lived in Italy for a few years.
Okay.
So, and I made it to
Traveled
Spoleto.
around.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably go check out this gazebo over here.
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds cool.
Yeah, and as you can see, the park takes a lot of maintenance.
Yeah. Well, they keep it up extremely well.
They do.
Which is great. Which is not the average.
Changing seasons right now, so it usually has a lot more flowers than this, but
Yeah.
there's still a lot of flowers for this time of year. So the first time I came here as a child, my dad was talking about the animals and coming to see the animals and how sort of terrible the animals looked.
Yep.
And we brought a picnic, and this was like sometime mid-80s, 1980s.
Okay.
And so we're all sitting on the grass overlooking the duck pond having a picnic,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden this guy came running past us with a boombox in his hand, and he was just running as fast as he could.
That's not a
And
good sign.
right behind him was
It's either a new
police
breakdance in
officer.
the 80s or...
new.
Right.
So right behind him is a police officer on a horse, And it was the first time I'd ever seen a police officer like tackle someone from horseback.
Really?
And it was really impressive and
Yeah.
also quite shocking and
Oh, I'll bet.
scary. So Hampton
Good.
Park is not quite as exciting nowadays as it was in the 80s or the 60s when it had Bear, or in the early turn of the century when it had Teddy Roosevelt
Or
and Cotton Palaces. That's what the big exhibition hall
police
was
tackling
called.
guys. Cotton Palace.
Cotton Palace.
Okay. So are you native to Charleston?
No, I moved here in 1989.
Okay.
Full time.
Okay.
My parents, we come from a little small town closer to the middle of South Carolina, I guess,
Okay.
inland,
Yep.
called Kingstree, which
Oh, yeah,
is 70
Kingstree.
miles away. So
Yeah.
Charleston's always been our town where we went to shop and
Yeah.
go to restaurants and things like that, because Kingstree is very middle of nowhere
Oh, sure.
farming community.
So, how long have you been in real estate? You've been here since '89.
Yeah, I went to high school and college in Charleston and moved away for a little while, but then realized I'd made a mistake and came back, which
Many
is what
people do.
most of my friends did from college. We all sort of took the attitude that we were going to get out of here as soon as we graduated.
Everyone wants out of their hometown, the small hometown, but then they
Then,
realize,
yeah, wow,
it's actually a lot to offer.
I'm really dumb. And of course, we all should have gone right into real estate and bought as many houses as we could back then.
Oh, if we knew then what we know now.
We
My
call
goodness.
it the coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Charleston's a big coulda, shoulda, woulda place.
Oh, yeah. Because you could pick up properties downtown here for nothing,
Yeah.
and now they're not nothing anymore.
No, they're not. And rightly so.
Yeah, as
It
it
is a
should be.
really high quality of life here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it really is high quality of life, even if you get outside of the exact
Morning.
downtown.
Morning.
Good morning. So when you came back, as I recall, you didn't get into real estate right away. You got into art.
Right. Well, I actually moved back to take a job teaching at the College of Charleston
Oh, okay.
for their horseback riding.
Nice. So you are into riding. You
Yeah.
have been for a long time.
So when I was in my 20s, I thought I was going to be a professional horseback rider.
Okay.
And then I realized that it was very difficult, long days, covered
Yes.
in dirt, not
Yes.
glamorous at all.
Shoveling out the stalls.
Yeah, and I was teaching about 100 college students a week, which is exhausting.
Yeah.
Just interacting with that many college students a week is
a lot.
exhausting.
College students are almost like teenagers, and that is exhausting.
Yeah, it was really rough. So I have a father who's an artist, and at the time he was looking for gallery representation, and I saw the opportunity there,
Yep.
and so I opened a gallery in my house on Cannon Street, which had just been zoned
Commercial.
limited business.
Okay. Yep.
So now Cannon and Spring are these booming commercial corridors. At the
Yes.
time, the city paper wrote an article about my gallery that said art galleries on Cannon Street and fashion shows at the aquarium. What's next? And I sort of thought
this is
that
so
was
far
really
out
funny
there.
because they thought, wow. And it was a little inconvenient. I would get ready to have an art show. It would be Saturday afternoon. And the college kids next door would move out and they'd pile all their junk and
All their junk in the
mattresses right in front of my house. So here I am trying to sell, very
High-end art.
expensive paintings
Yeah, with the old
with
mattress. on
old
the
mattresses
curb.
stacked out front. But it had sort of a bohemian flair.
Great.
So it was a lot of fun, and I did that for about 5 years and produced a book on my father's work and
Oh, neat.
had a retrospective exhibit for Piccolo Spoleto at the City Gallery at Waterfront Park, which is
That's
another
awesome.
amazing park. And then, then the recession hit, and people immediately stopped buying art or anything else that wasn't a necessity.
Right.
But what was interesting is a lot of businesses were trying to stay in business, and so they were trying to figure out how to reduce their overhead.
Okay.
And I was up on this street filled with college rentals,
Right.
and a lot of business people were coming to me and saying, what's it like owning a business on Cannon Street? And so that's really how I got into real estate, was just trying to help businesses relocate out from under really oppressive price per square feet
Right.
on King Street,
Oh,
Lower
so-
King Street. There really wasn't anything going on Upper King Street then. So
just
I
don't need
started
it.
helping. I probably put My first year in real estate, I better put 25 businesses on Spring and Cannon.
Okay, so you got your license once the first folks approached you about just moving their business.
Not
and
initially,
reducing overhead.
but my husband finally said, you know, you can make a living doing this. Why are you
Right.
doing it for free?
Oh, okay, so out of the
Because I
goodness
was
of your
sort of
heart.
tour guiding people around and saying
Right.
it's great, and people were coming to the gallery and they were looking at paintings and asking about the neighborhood.
Okay,
So that was when the Martin Luther King corridor really started to take off on Spring and Cannon,
yep.
and moved a lot. Got my license in 2007, and moved a lot of businesses. And
Yeah.
then, of course, because I had found someone a home for their business, they would typically ask
They
me to
want their
find them a
home.
house.
Yeah. Exactly, and so it
So
just
it's
took
a
off
great
from
way
there.
to take off. Yeah.
So I see kind of where you get, you know, where you started in real estate. It was relationship
Oh yeah.
based.
Yeah.
And Charleston's relationship based. Art tends to be relationship based. So I would imagine that's how you've grown your business, I would guess.
That's totally how I've grown my business.
So how do you know when you've completed a transaction, we've helped someone into their home in the right neighborhood, etc. How do you know when you've done a good job? How do you know when you can go home after that closing and feel like, yeah, I've done everything right?
When I get my check.
That's part of it.
Just kidding.
That was
No,
a
I
realtor
mean,
answer.
I have a, you know, I usually have a really good feeling going into most of my transactions
Yep.
prior to getting to the closing table, that
Right.
everything has come together properly.
So you were saying you're a professional pesterer.
Yeah, so I feel like what I do is I spend all day on the phone making sure that every little piece of the puzzle is put in place.
Yep.
And all those other people that are my network
Yeah.
are doing what they need to do, and there's nothing slipping through the cracks. And I feel like as long as I stay on top of that, which I sort of think is my specialty, that I can make sure that by the time we get to closing, it's just everything smooth sailing.
My whole philosophy with the team
Morning.
is to do stuff so that we're communicating so proactively that you never have to pick up the phone and call us. You always can, but you never have to. So
Oh,
hopefully
I will.
and you will, and you do, and which is good. But that's how I structure the team, so that
No, that's really nice.
kind of in line with what you were saying, is so that you don't have to ever wonder, is this done? So we're communicating, this is done.
Right.
We're good.
Right.
So that's our goal. Currie, you are the realtor who understands, especially the downtown Mount Pleasant, James Island sort of market. You live here, you know that, and you can help people find the right deal.
And as a last tip, I would say, buy some small house as an investment property in North Charleston, in the southern tip of North Charleston. If you have to just board it up
like Park Circle.
below Park Circle
Below
and
Park
above what's called the Upper Peninsula now.
Okay.
That area is getting ready to take off like a rocket.
Right.
And if you can just find that little $50,000 house, board up the windows,
Which you just did.
and hang on to it. Yeah, except I put my son in it.
Yeah. And if you are interested in doing that, this is your agent right here to help you, because you understand the market. You know where to buy.
I
You know how
try.
to. Well, thanks for coming out and hiking.
No problem. And if you're looking for a mortgage, obviously.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We make a good team. It's a
Yeah.
relationship thing. You know?
Exactly.
Hey guys, thanks for coming along on this hike with Currie and I this morning. Got up early, even though we ran into an alligator on the way here, but thankfully Florida University recaptured it and took it back home. And the best part, no spiders. You can't beat that. So if Currie can do anything for you real estate wise, you'll be happy that you chose her and that you chose to work with her. And if we can do anything for you on the lending side, love to help. So reach out anytime, and in the meantime, we did have some steps today, and we saw some history as well. So not a whole lot, it was kind of flat. I'm giving you 2,000 honorary steps today. So enjoy the rest of the day, kick back, relax, and thanks for hiking with us. Happy trails.